This is TWiT.
Mr. Pichai goes to Washington. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. There were some great... It's so fun to watch our Congress attempt to understand technology. Steve King, everybody's favorite Nazi representative, holds up his iPhone and says, how come when my, what was this, his niece, his daughter searches for
his granddaughter.
My granddaughter.
No, granddaughter wasn't searching. Granddaughter was on some game, and then I'm guessing it was an alert. Up pops her grandfather with something awful about him. That's because he does awful things. Your grandpa is a racist.
Yes. And he holds up his phone, and Sundar has to say, the iPhone's made by another company. I don't know anything about that. And then King says, well, maybe it wasn't this phone, but it might have been an Android phone. Then they say, well, why is it when we search on Google for idiot, we get pictures of the president? Why is that, Sundar Pichai? What was Sundar's response to that?
Sundar explained that they just are looking at the data from what people do. Internet. That was a Democrat who asked that, actually.
Algorithms, man.
Algorithms.
Algorithms. And then,
but before we go on, let me just point out, you know, because part of this hearing is because of this contention that Google somehow stifles conservative thought. But it's, you know, what you don't want Google to do is to say, oh, look, every time somebody searches for idiot, they're getting President Trump. We better fix that. That's what you don't want to have happen.
Right.
That's called editorializing.
So what Pichai said at some point is there's not a little man there editing these things.
That's what I tell my parents.
It's hugely data.
There's not a little man in your computer.
I was on MSNBC this morning with Stephanie Rule talking about this.
I love her. So Give her my regards. She's awesome.
she's great. She's just great. So I made a list of the idiocies. Right, you have Bob Goodlatte starting off saying, you have more data, you have so much data it would make NSA blush.
Oh, no, sir.
Mr. Goodlatte, shouldn't the NSA make you blush since it knows a hell of a lot more than Google does, and it victimized Google? Yeah. Then you have Steve King, then you have Leo Laporte. Then Steve Cohen, who's a Democrat, wanted a help tutorial line for people.
Oh, please.
Because they're too stupid to use search.
Oh, please.
And then he complained, I'm on MSNBC. I had appearances on MSNBC. I had 8 appearances on MSNBC. They don't come up. And then you had Matt Getz wanting to know how many liberal employees there are. That's a little scary. Then you have Steve Chabot, C-H-A-B-O-T. I don't know. That he was amazed that if you search for American Health Care Act, that was the Trump one, all these bad things come up. People are saying.
Now, let me say this, though, and somebody in the chat room is pointing this out. Some years ago, when people were searching for Michelle Obama in the image search, you got pictures of gorillas. And Google fixed that, did they not?
Yeah, you got, well, it wasn't Michelle Obama, it was searching for gorillas, and then African Americans would come up. So now you basically can't search for gorilla, because they don't know how to deal with some of these things. So they did a broad brush.
They can fix stuff like that.
They can fix, that they do. But that's not saying that, hello, Mr. Cohen, you think that your MSNBC appearances should be higher than
you don't get to choose that.
CNN.
You don't get to choose that.
And there's not a little man. And then finally there was Ted Poe, who got really angry. Does this know where I am? Well, it depends on your default settings. Oh, you make millions of dollars. He gets all mad at him. Well, Mr. Poe, when you leave and you say, find me the nearest pizza, how can it do that if it doesn't know where you are? It's just the idiocy is tremendous. So what I said on MSNBC this morning was, should they be more regulated? I said, after this performance yesterday, who do you want to be running the internet? Google or Congress? I'll take Google.
Well, I'm not sure I want that either.
I think there's some room in the middle there.
Yes.
Not with this Congress, I don't think.